All right, here with Jordan Clark, the former Sun Devil standout, now future Fighting Irish. So obviously one of the most historic premier programs in the sports history. Why was the Fighting Irish the right place for you?
I took a visit out there last weekend, and upon arriving, I really just felt at home. Coach Freeman and his staff, Coach Golden, CO, those guys really made me feel at home. I felt it was a good mix of professionalism, as well as kind of the family feel that I'm accustomed to and that I like to be a part of. And then obviously the gold helmets and all the tradition and history that come with the school like that. It was just a dope opportunity. And I'm not really into the whole recruiting thing. I didn't want to be in the portal very long. So once I felt at home and I felt like it was a place that I could blossom and flourish, I just made that decision.
So what are the you mentioned just getting to know those people and the history and just obviously you get what kind of things jumped out around when you're walking around the campus on that visit. Obviously touchdown Jesus, the helmets, just the
Yeah.
so much history has gone through that place.
Yeah, no, man. Just them taking me around, seeing the grotto where people go and say prayers for a Notre Dame victory, and you see touchdown Jesus right outside the stadium, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into the history there. You see the play like a champion today sign, all of those things, and it's stuff that I grew up watching, that I grew up seeing. You know what I'm saying? In 30 for 30s on college football pump ups, and Notre Dame is actually the college that my dad wanted to go to out of high school. So really getting to experience that together, see it together. But also, going there with the mindset of, is this best for me? You know what I'm saying? Making sure that it checked the boxes for what I wanted for myself, not just being awestruck, but making sure that it was the right choice. And, I truly do feel that it is.
One of the cool things that really kind of jumped out the last couple of days is when your dad was on and shared the story of kind of what Kenny Dillingham did when he found out that you were on that visit, just kind of unsolicited, made that call, just raved about what for 10 minutes or so. They said on your
Yeah.
behalf, just telling you about the kind of player and person that you are. What did it mean to have your former coach kind of on your behalf, just unprompted, make that gesture?
Yeah, no, it meant everything. And I think that it says everything you need to know about Coach Dillingham. And more than anything, man, what I would want people to know is like Coach Dillingham isn't just your coach. He's also, your friend and your biggest supporter. Even with me not being there anymore, we've talked multiple times. He's wished me luck, wished me the best, and made sure that I know that he'll do anything to help put me in a good position. I think that when you have a man like that, not just a coach at the helm of your program, that's a sign of good things to come. I'm super optimistic about ASU's future, and I think that everybody else should be as well. And I know that Coach Dillingham's the guy for the job.
Now you mentioned that you're not necessarily a guy that was big into the recruiting and all the bells and whistles go through that. What was the portal experience like for you? Obviously, it officially opens up on Monday. Were there other schools that entertained, or was Notre Dame kind of maybe something that you were locked in on? Obviously, you mentioned that your dad, that was kind of his dream school coming out of high school. What was that experience like over the couple days before you went in officially and you made the decision to go to Notre Dame?
Yeah, being a grad guy, you get to enter like early. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait on the date or whatever. But it was cool, man. It was cool. You get in the portal, a bunch of coaches are reaching out to you, talking to you. Trying to just get on the phone and see what your interest level is. And I kind of had already had a vision of what I wanted for myself from my last year. And Notre Dame, kind of just fit that mold. They're a school that jumped out to me, somebody I wanted to kind of explore. So whenever they reached out, um, yeah, I really just kind of jumped at the opportunity. I felt that it was something that was good for me. I want to get my grad degree. It's an excellent school, somewhere that a grad degree from will matter. And then yeah, just the opportunity to wear that gold helmet and be a part of that tradition and that culture. Um, it was something that I feel extremely grateful for the opportunity, and something that I was blessed, what I'm saying, to have.
Did you get any input from Drew Pine on what life as a fighting Irish players like?
Yeah, yeah, nah, Drew. As soon as it was reported that I was on the visit, Drew reached out to me immediately. And he has a lot of love for that place, and that place has a lot of love for him. When you talk to people out there about Drew Pine, you're gonna hear more of the same of what people out here would have to say about him. He's just a gritty guy, a guy who's hardworking, and our personalities kind of match up well, which is why Drew and I get along so well. And I think that just taking that mentality that Drew has and that I have to South Bend, that's the expectation in the program, and that's what I plan to go and do. Just grind, work hard every day, and try to uphold the standard.
Now, 5 years here in Tempe, obviously some highs, some lows. When did the idea of maybe exploring your final season elsewhere and get another experience kind of first into your mind?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a guy that likes to finish what I started. You know what I'm saying? So during the season, it's all about ASU football. During the season, you know what I'm saying, making sure I give my all to the team, make sure I'm preparing and doing the right things to win the games. After the season is something that my family brought up to me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just talking through it, what's best for me as far as next steps, because ultimately my goal is to play in the NFL. And my dad, I take his input seriously, what he has to say, and he felt that that move might be beneficial for me. And so, yeah, after the season, following the last game, just had some talks with my parents, some real talks with my parents, and they felt that that's what's best for me, and I trust them with my life. They got me here, so they must know what they're doing. So just trusting my parents, trusting my family, and after the last game, yeah.
You talked about how Kenny is kind of looking after you guys more, is more than just players. And when you talk to Coach Dillingham and the staff, kind of announcing that you're taking your talents elsewhere and playing in one final year else at another spot, what was kind of the reaction when you broke that news?
Understanding, obviously it's a sad moment, what I'm saying, because you spend so much time together, you create a bond together, what I'm saying, and you care about people and you want to work with them. So obviously there's sadness on both sides. This place is home for me, and I've developed relationships with this coaching staff and these players, my brothers. So it's sad, but at the same time, they understood, what I'm saying. They were super receptive. Everybody jumped at the bit to be as helpful and, do everything they can for me to help me find a new place somewhere that I felt was for me. I don't think that they could have handled it any better. Coach Ward immediately was like, if you need any recommendations, if you ever need, a coach to speak on your behalf, give him my number. Coach Aguano did the same thing. Coach Dillingham did the same thing. Everybody wished me luck, from the fans, janitors in the building, to, what I'm saying, the top. So it was amazing, and it really just confirmed everything I knew about this place already. This place is special, and great things are coming.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of the fans, and whenever a key player jumps in the portal these days, it seems like most people are supportive, but there's always some people that may not be. But with your case, I just saw nothing but just unwavering support and people really showing their true appreciation for what you've done these last 5 years. What has that fan support meant to you, from the moment you first stepped on campus in Tempe to today?
Man, it means everything. I can't even put into words what this experience has been to me, and what this place means to me. Um, Bro, like, I've just grown so much, through all the good times and the bad. What some people may see as adversity and in tough situations. Like, I've always just felt so at home, and this has just always been an amazing place to me. From when I wasn't playing my freshman year to things starting to increase and getting better, from being in bowl games to not qualifying for a bowl game, it's always felt like home, and it's always been an amazing place to me. And this place took me in, and it really made me a man. What I'm saying? It made me the man that I am today, and it moved me closer to be who I want to become. And I'm just so thankful to everybody, for constantly supporting me, even now when it isn't in their best interest. What I'm saying? And I'm just thankful and so grateful. And I want everybody to know that, I always gave everything I had. What I'm saying? And now that I'm not on the squad, I'm just the number one fan, even though I'm not here.
What are the things that you think you're going to miss most about being a Sun Devil and kind of just the day in, day out here in Tempe?
Chuck box.
Great answer.
Yeah, nah, but just the vibe, man. Like, waking up in Tempe, there's nothing like it. I can really say that there's nothing like being here. I grew up in Baton Rouge, around LSU football games, and being in Baton Rouge and being on campus there. I went to high school on campus there. Um, I went to middle school on campus in Pittsburgh, on Pitt's campus. Like, I've been around colleges, and I've been around different places, man. This place is really one of a kind. The vibe around campus is always sunny, it's beautiful. People walking around, just always having a good time. It's super fun. And then walking into that stadium and dapping up Pat Tillman before every game and going to war with my brothers with that pitchfork on my helmet. There's nothing like it, and I hold these moments with me until I'm old and I can't play ball no more, and even past that. So yeah, this place is special, and I really do feel as if it's on the return to the top.
What have been your favorite memories when you look back at your 5 years here? Whether on off the field, just the things that the memories, that the core memories you cherish the most.
Yeah, 70-7, first one always. That was a pretty dope experience. We got to the food that night. Um, then whenever we came back here, it would be U of A for the cup here. In what 2021, I believe that was. I've been here for
Hmm.
so long, it was just all blend together. And then beating Oregon my freshman year. I don't think I smelled the field that game, jersey clean, but you know the fans storming the field and being a part of that with Chase and Jack and JD and all those guys, just getting to experience that with my brothers. The guys I came here with, um, means everything. Those days and those experiences uh, yeah.
How do you sum up the feeling of putting on that maroon and gold? As you mentioned, kind of dabbing up Pat Tillman on the way out, and just running through Tillman Tunnel and kind of going to battle between the buttes.
Yeah, man, I just felt alive. Like I've never felt more alive than those moments. Running out that tunnel, I felt we were invincible every single time. Regardless of what the end game may have been or what it ended up being, I felt invincible with that helmet on and running out the tunnel with those guys and just gratitude. I cried before like 90% of our games at some point, just because this has been my dream my entire life to do this. Like if you ask my dad when I was younger, it was never me wanting to play in the NFL or play for the Steelers or anything like that. It was always I just wanted to play college ball. And this is the place that gave me the opportunity to do that. This is the place that believed in me, and this is the place that brought me up and helped me evolve as a player and as a man. So running out that tunnel, man, dapping up Pat Tillman, coin tosses, fireworks, it's everything that I've ever dreamed of, and I'm just so thankful that this place gave me the opportunity to do it.
Of course, one more chapter to go in South Bend, but so far, in these over these 5 years, how much of what you've wanted to accomplish, at the college level, have you been able to do so far?
I haven't even scratched the surface, which is crazy. Really, for me, I try to not be an outcome driven person. I think that the beauty is in the process. Always that's always how I've looked at things, and so from that standpoint, I think ASU has given me everything. I've always had everything I needed that I feel make me a better player, from access to all the film that I needed, access to a beautiful weight room, academic staff that tirelessly works to help you get your degree and do anything that you want to do. I graduated early, but I do have really high hopes for myself, and I have high hopes for what I can be and what I can accomplish. And I'm hoping that in this last year in South Bend I can do those things.
Now you've been a face of the program for a couple of years now, and moving on. Who do you think are some of the heirs to your mantle? Who are some of the young Sun Devils that you think can kind of get to that Jordan Clark face of the program type of level?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about face of the program or anything like that, but I think CJ Fight is a brilliant kid. On and off the field. I think that he's a guy that's going to be a household name here. I think Montana Warren is a kid who, got hurt, so he didn't get to really play his true freshman year like he was going to before he got injured. But I think he's going to be a star. Um, then I think you go to the offensive side of the ball. Kids like Caleb Black. I think he's going to be a star. You already saw what Sean is capable of on the O line. And just moving up, I think that this year Xavier Alford being eligible to play is going to be huge. He's just a natural born
Mhm.
leader and an excellent football player. He came here, had 2 picks on us, a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so he can play ball. And I think Shamari Simmons is an absolute stud. I think he's one of the best players that I've ever played with. Um, and I think that he's going to be a guy that people really talk about around here for a very, very long time. So I think that just with the base of guys that are in that locker room right now, Coach Dillingham already has it going in the right direction. I think that you guys are going to be pretty excited when you hear about some of the stuff going on in recruiting that's going on, and some of the guys that are considering coming here, just from people that I've spoken to about it. And I think that it's going to be a really fun off season and an even more fun first season in the Big 12 for ASU.
So looking back at this past year, obviously difficult year, a lot of obstacles thrown at you guys, a lot of stuff out of your control. But when you see your head coach Kenny Dillingham, his first year leading the program, a young man in his own right, how did you see him kind of navigate those difficult waters, and just what did it tell you about the kind of man he will be leading a program in the future?
Man, he worked himself to exhaustion, which is something that I respect so much. It's something that I try to do every single day. He left no stone unturned, no box unchecked. I mean, he did everything he could. He did everything he could, and he was dealt a tough hand. We were dealt a tough hand. We had a bunch of injuries, a bunch of unfortunate things happened, but he never rolled over. And he kept every week coming into the team meeting room, and he said at the end of every one of his speeches that there is no way that we should lose this game, regardless of if we were playing Oregon or if we were playing Southern Utah. He came in every week with the same energy and consistency, and belief in us. And I think that whenever you have a head coach who believes in what he's doing and he believes in his players, that makes his players believe. And I think that confidence and belief is what you need to resurge a program and bring a program back to its former glory. And I think that everybody should be excited because they not only have a good man, but an excellent ball coach, at the helm of their program. And I think that that's going to show in years to come.
Obviously, as somebody who's been a key part of this program for 5 years now, when you kind of take a step back and look, what are some of the areas of growth that Sun Devil football can do, in year 2 and beyond with Kenny Dillingham to get to the level that he wants it to be?
Yeah, I think just continuing to get everybody to buy in inside of the locker room. I think that Coach Dillingham did a great job of finding the players and getting players that are going to buy in and making decisions and getting people here that are going to buy into the program and love football. So that's something that he's already doing now. And I think outside of that, just the push for NIL, I think is another good thing that he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? I think that, it's crazy, but that's where college football is headed. You know what I'm saying? NIL is super important. And I think that he's doing a great job, and I think that the Valley's doing a great job, chipping in and helping out. And I think that as the success comes this year, I think that the Valley will see how important it is, and they'll continue to pour into the program. And I think once everybody's bought in and everybody's doing their part, that this place is going to be insane. I mean, there's really no better place to be when it's rocking. So yeah, I think just getting players that are going to buy in and getting players that love football. And then the NIL piece as well, which are two things that he's working tirelessly. I can tell y'all that he's working tirelessly to fix. And y'all will see the benefits and the good stuff that comes from that this season.
It seems like you've got a pretty favorable opinion of the future of Sun Devil football. What do you think? How do you feel that ASU fans should feel? Obviously, it's been a rough couple of years for them, and kind of riding with the ups and the downs of the program. But how do you think these Sun Devil faithful should feel about the future of the program, and what kind of potential do you see for here in the desert?
They should be excited. They should be ecstatic. I know I am. I'm a Sun Devil fan now, so I can speak for us now that I'm a Sun Devil fan, and I can say that they should be ecstatic. I know I've said it so many times, bro, but I really do feel like good people win. I feel like good people win. And the way that he conducts himself, the way that Coach Ward conducts himself, and the way that the guys in that locker room conduct themselves, it's a winning formula. It's a winning formula, and I think that in time that this place is going to be the standard. I really do.
So when you look over the course of the next year or so, what are the things that you personally want to accomplish before you set your sights on Sundays?
Yeah, this year, man, I think that going to Notre Dame, what I want for myself, I just want to maximize myself as a player. I just want to give Notre Dame everything like I've given this place everything. For me, it's always been about the process. It's always been about doing things the right way and doing right by people. And I plan to do that there like I try to do it here and just leave the place better than I found it. I hope that people feel that I did that here, and I'm going to try to do the same thing at Notre Dame.
So 5-10 years down the road, when ASU fans bring up the name Jordan Clark, how do you hope you're remembered? What would you like them to be saying about you?
I just want them to – I don't know what they're going to say about me. I don't really care what they say about me, but I want them to know that I gave them everything that I had every time I put the helmet on. Every week I worked myself to exhaustion, staying up at the facility watching film, staying up in my house watching film, 2-a-day workouts the whole season. I really tried to maximize myself and do everything I could to help us win football games and to be the best person that I could and to treat everybody with the same level of respect and love, no matter who they were. And I think that if people know that I was a good person and that I tried to maximize myself and do right by everybody while I was here, that's all that matters to me. But what they have to say, I don't really care too much.
So, finally, as you're embarking on this really exciting new chapter of your career and your life, What's the final message to ASU fans that you give them after I've covered the program since 2011. You're one of the most competitive players I've seen. Obviously obviously huge impact on the field, huge impact off of it. What would be your kind of final message to Sun Devil fans?
I have nothing to say but thank you. I came here, you know what I'm saying, as a young kid, 18-year-old kid, man, with high hopes for what I could be, you know what I'm saying, and high hopes for what life could be and high hopes for what this place could be, and it exceeded all of them. The relationships that I've developed here, the person that I've developed into since being here, and the experiences that I've had will stick with me for the rest of my life. And Tempe is home. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I love Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but Tempe has really become home for me. And 5 to 10 years down the road, whatever Sun Devil fans have to say about me, they'll be able to say it to me because I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be around here for sure. So just thank you. I'm so grateful for everybody, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And force up.
Well, awesome, Jordan. As mentioned, you've been one of my favorite players to cover in my time around Sun Devil football. Just you're always accommodating, gracious, insightful with the media, and just an absolute pleasure. And I've never been one to root for Notre Dame's success in the field, but that's going to change this year. Going to be hoping that there's a lot of wins for you in the crew in South Bend. So, Jordan, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.